24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Let's go. 10 Lobo.
He's tired of me. He's tired of us.
Go, go.
57, come on.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here.
Hey, Alpha.
57's the mic. Watch 57. I'm coming.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Don't say nothing.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ben Gideon coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Down. 50, plant.
All day, dog.
Hey, Charlie.
Minshew throwing on 3rd down. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. And the Jaguars send out their punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 20. A former Seminole back home in Florida. It's Dalvin Cook. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Hey, get away.
Cousins on 1st down. And this is complete on the comebacker. It's Landry. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 47. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Jaguars' 40-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Hey, let's get this, get this. Hey, Ken. Zebra.
Now Cousins. Complete. It's Johnson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards the pickup there. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
It's a gain of 7.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Back to the ground, Cook. Now the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
Let's go.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll run with Chubb. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
2nd and goal from the 1.
You must be getting tired of seeing me.
A toss to Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Punching it in from a yard away as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Pick it up. Jim.
Pilot, 64, weak. Hey, exit.
Minshew, 1st and 10. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Let's go. Get set. Be driven.
Now Saquon Barkley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 39-yard line.
After 7-0 on EA Sports.
With the score, Vikings 7, Jaguars 0.
Set 70, Indy.
Not today, you are. Not today.
Hey, Delta.
57's the mic. Watch 57. Check back, check back.
Snap.
On 2nd and 11 now. Minshew going for the deep ball. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
57's mic.
Barkley. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
A good game there on 1st down. That run will get them 7 up to the 32-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now Cook. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
20! Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. The toss out to Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Here we go, set, 60 outlaw.
2 times.
Ready.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. They find some open field here. Past the 20, 10, touchdown, Jaguars. Saquon Barkley, 51 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. To throw is Cousins. And that's caught by Smith. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. Takes this to the 45. Broken tackle. Brought him a little extra space. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They go play action. Cousins. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6. And the Vikings first down.
Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he'll find Lashley there. It's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down. From the red zone now, Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the carry, it's Cook. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Landry, the intended target. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. Then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. That really sets him back. A loss of 6.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando, that's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? you adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And he is going to lose yardage here. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that will be incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
On the ready.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll go to Barkley again. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Here's Minshew. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. This is taken at the 18. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play.
Again, it's Cook. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On 3rd down, Cousins. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On 2nd and 10, Cousins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Cousins again. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
3 down. Hey, watch 28.
Tight dog. 61. Matchbox lights. Hey, wahoo. 5.
On 2nd down, Minshew looking deep for Jennings. Incomplete, almost intercepted. They haven't picked him off yet. Would have been a great time for the first, but instead it's 3rd down.
3rd down and 12 yards to go.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down.
Hey, seam 6.
From the gun, Minshew to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. It's taken to the 26. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A toss play to Chubb. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Tried to get the edge there. The defense just too quick to the ball.
That's what we call total team defense there. Can't get to the edge, no place to move it inside, and then allows everyone else to run to the ball and create a big-time tackle for no gain for the offense.
On second down, it's Cook. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's able to find Diggs. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And this is Cook with the grab. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now they return to the ground game. Chubb. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Back to the ground. This time Cook. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal. They'll run for it. Cook. And I don't think he got in. He didn't. He's stoned at the 1-yard line. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied, and the Jaguars are able to come up with a goal line stand. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball...
Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points, that means this is now a 2-score game.
Yeah, and that's tough to deal with, isn't it? This little time left. Those 2 points doesn't seem like a lot, but it means everything now. Those are going to be the ones we're going to look back on. Those 2 points right there, the play of the game.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Cook. And an alley to run. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They run again on 1st down. Cook. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. To throw, Cousins. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 28. Trying to get it to Landry there. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Hey, Orville.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 18-yard line.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They run it again with Cook. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. First down. Here's Cousins. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. They run the counter with Cook. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And now here comes the third of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 14. Here's Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
57's the mic. 57's the mic.
Throwing on 1st down is Minshew. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. On 2nd and 10, it's Minshew. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 19. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cook. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the 1st down marker, and now it's 3rd down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Vikings, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they'll have another road date next week with the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Jacksonville, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin.